As much as everyone's probably going to be shocked by the end of the episode and how it seemingly ties into another series by this author, Umineko, I think the thing that shocks me the most is that there's a damn prison in this school. It's not shocking when you think about how they treat those who aren't in the perfect class. If you get sent to the special class, you're there for life, there's no way you're getting out of there. Kind of looks like they're all on suicide watch by the looks on their faces. But to see someone like Satoko, who, pulled a prank that did harm someone. I mean, we saw blood, we saw the regret. To see her literally in an orange jumpsuit, just chilling in a prison cell, I'm thinking to myself, this school is beyond messed up. But I mean, leave it to Higurashi to really show the transition into madness, and I think many of us probably assumed when she was beating her hands on the bed, she was slamming her face around, saying, I wish I could do it over. We were expecting something to happen, a character to appear to start the looping, but nothing did. And I saw some people say that it doesn't make sense for someone like Satoko to start looping and want to cause all of this harm after just not being accepted by Rika in this new school. And I could agree, but as we see, she spent semesters upon semesters being alone and afraid, feeling like nothing that she is doing is correct, and if she only had the chance to say no when Rika said, I want to go to this school, I want you to come with me, she could do it all over and fix it. It's something that I really like, is that they actually showed, similar to how they showed with Rika, she's experienced how many loops to get her perfect end. It is pain, it is torment, it's understandable why she gave up when she said, I have 5 more loops left in me. And it's equally understandable for someone who has been abused and kind of left out and abandoned as much as Satoko, why she wants Rika to stay in this village, to keep things the same, and that she can have her happy-go-lucky life. It's understandable where both of these characters are coming from. And I said last week that they need to have a conversation that one wants to go to school and one wants to stay behind. But if you do look at it from Satoko's perspective, her being left alone where everyone else graduates, eventually goes off to college, that's a very lonely life. What is left for her? She has to go to the school or be left alone. But that school, it's not for her. So what do you do? And honestly, it's hard to say, because this is a girl who knows abandonment. She knows what it's like to have no one. And it feels like no matter what's happening, it's either she has to create a fake life for herself or cling on to one that's destined to fall apart. And it's understandable when you touch that horn after the statue cracks and you see a character who I'm not going to name because it would be considered spoilers, because I guess names are considered spoilers to certain people, so I'm just going to avoid it until next week. It's understandable how the loops started happening and what is occurring. This was an incredible episode. Like, you knew that this was going to be the last episode before something big started happening. And there were so many moments where I think people were probably waiting for a neck scratch or things like that. And I didn't think they were going to go that route. I thought it was going to be vastly different, that someone would offer her the ability to loop, and then that's how it would start. I didn't expect a neck scratch in the slightest, though I saw many people saying that we're just waiting till next week, which is episode 20, and she's going to start scratching her neck, she's going to start slashing, and then that's going to start a loop or something. But no, she committed to the school life. As much as she hated it, she committed. And something I also saw with last week, saying that Rika didn't stand up for her, but there really wasn't a point where Rika needed to stand up for her, I would argue. And when there was an opportunity that everyone was treating Satoko like shit truly, she did stand up for her, saying she's a good person, she's the reason I'm still around, she actually saved my life so many times. It's understandable why she would feel bad, because from Rika's perspective, Satoko wanted to come to the school. So she's probably just disappointed that her grades aren't up to par. I will help her with that. Both of these characters are equally right and wrong, and it was an equal kind of blame that you can place on them for ending up in a situation where neither one of them is truly happy, and when one is, the other is suffering. It's so interesting seeing the pieces click more and more and watching the pain and suffering where, honestly, the only blood that was in this episode was, I believe it was tin cans, it might have been pots. Either way, they fell and they hurt the one student, and to see the shocked and awe of her, because you knew it was going to go badly, I just wasn't expecting blood, especially in a school that seemingly is so prestigious and perfect, to see a character just, bleeding and actually in pain, because that would hurt like hell. When you see her approaching it in the night before, you're thinking to yourself, oh, this is going to be the moment, this will be the character that will come and will change everything, but no, she just set a trap because that's who she is, and then it ended in someone getting really, really hurt, and depending on where it hit her, she actually could have died. A simple baseball to the head can actually kill someone if it hits the exact right spot in the exact right way. And she's actually upset. She's terrified. But Rika sticks by her friend and doesn't say anything. But of course, after telling your newfound friends that, she likes to set traps the day before, not knowing something like this would happen, of course she would be ratted out, and honestly, rightfully so. You actually did hurt a student in a pretty nasty way. You do deserve punishment. You just don't deserve a damn prison cell, and if I knew that, I would never have said you deserve punishment, right? It's one of those shows that just is starting to click more and more, and with 4 episodes left to go, we're starting to see what's occurring here. And when you really start to place, and I feel like probably next week it'll be like, okay, you make the deal, and we're gonna kind of speedrun, I feel like, the arcs we've already seen in this anime, and seeing it from her perspective. I wouldn't be surprised if the final couple of episodes here, maybe episodes 21 and 22, are rewatching previous arcs and loops that we've seen in GOU and seeing how she manipulated the board. Back when we were in the Satoko abuse arc, where her uncle came home, there was theories being like when she was in the shower, there was no marks on her whatsoever, but apparently she was beaten. It does seem like at that point, because the uncle came back after she got this ability, she manipulated the situation and she brought the uncle back, and the uncle didn't do shit in that loop. It's pretty much clear at this point in time. It's going to be interesting to re-see those loops because it feels like that's what we're building up to, and personally I hope we do get to see it, and then hopefully there'll be a couple of episodes to find a resolution, whether that's a good or bad one. Personally, I mean, if there is a good, there's no way everyone can be happy, I feel like. So it's going to be one of those things that'll be very interesting to see what occurs, but the fact that it's very different from what Satoko found versus Rika, we're getting into some very interesting territory. And as I said last week, there's essentially 3 ways to watch Higurashi in a very interesting way. Newcomers, people who saw or read the original visual novel, the Umineko fans, and it's incredible to see how this author has woven such an interesting story where everyone's going to get something out of it. And honestly, I said it on Twitter last week, out of everything I've ever reviewed on the channel, I personally feel like Higurashi has been the series that I've enjoyed reviewing the most. It's not my favorite anime of all time, it's not anything like that, but in terms of being able to sit up here, discuss with you guys, fans of the old material, brand new fans, it has been the most exciting ride, and I am so excited to see how the final month of Higurashi is going to conclude, and where the show will ultimately take us. It was also a brilliant touch by having the opening and ending pretty much play as actual story was being told. The opening has like 10 seconds of just the opening playing at the very end, but you get to see the characters walking around and interacting with the school, and you get the exact same thing with the ending. This was the type of episode to let the opening and ending play as story was unfolding, and it really created a very intense and very creepy atmosphere, all things considered. Beautiful directing, but I mean, Higurashi is known for it. Just look at how many interesting shots are in a show, like when you see the rear view mirror of the car, and how you look at these 2 characters who have grown very apart, but they're acting like nothing has changed. This was an incredible episode, and I'm so excited for more. Let me know your thoughts and feelings down below, your favorite moments, and where you think it might go in episode 21 next week. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, share your support, and hit that subscribe button if you happy and you're around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.